Okay, so,
Yeah.
you know, we've got to talk about Titanic.
Yeah.
I mean, just saying the name, you think of so much right.
Yeah, it's kind of
Like,
incredible.
back in 97, it wasn't just like a movie that came out. It was like the cultural moment.
Well, it really was.
I mean, highest grossing film ever.
Oh,
Up
yeah.
until Avatar, I think it won 11 Oscars.
Yeah, something like that. It was a lot. It cleaned up.
A lot of awards.
Yeah,
I mean, you don't get that kind of impact by accident. Something about this film, really.
it just connected. I think the thing that's so fascinating is how this tragic, devastating historical event gets blended with this very personal, fictional love story. And that combination, somehow captured people's imaginations everywhere. I mean, worldwide, on a scale we hadn't seen.
Right. It really became a shared experience.
It did.
So for this deep dive, we're not just going to get to skim the surface, right?
No.
Like, we're not going to revisit all the old things everybody knows.
Right.
Everyone knows the memes. You probably know the lines by heart. I mean, come on.
It's so quotable, yeah.
So what we really want to do is we want to explore, like, the depth
The real depth.
of Titanic. Go beyond that surface level.
Yeah.
What we're going to do is look at the history, like the real bedrock of history it's built on.
Yes.
The just crazy ambition it took to even create this thing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
We're going to talk about the characters, the ones who drew us into the story, the themes, like the underlying things that made it resonate, and why, even now, so many years later,
It's still with us.
yeah, why does this film still have this hold on us?
Right.
So, I mean, you're the expert here. I think what we're trying to do is give everybody a more comprehensive understanding. Like, we're really trying to unpack, all those layers that Cameron put into this thing.
Yes. It's more than just the spectacle. It's
Yeah.
so much more.
So where do we even begin?
Yeah.
I mean, with a story this big.
Right. Where do you start?
Well, I mean, we've got to start with the fact that this wasn't just made up out of thin air. I mean, the power of this movie is that it's actually based on a real event, the sinking of the RMS Titanic on April 15th, 1912.
One of the deadliest maritime disasters in history.
Yeah, like a huge, huge tragedy.
It was.
And that really grounds the film, I think. It gives it a weight.
Absolutely. It's not just some fictional catastrophe that someone dreamt up.
Right.
It's rooted in history, in a real tragedy where so many people lost their lives. And so the film lets us connect to that history in a really human way.
And it's not just using the sinking as like a backdrop.
No.
It goes deeper than that. It looks at the social structures of the time.
No, absolutely.
Like the first class passengers, second class, third class. Those divisions were so real. And that's a big part of the story.
Yeah, totally. And you see that in the characters, right? Rose is trapped in this world of opulence and luxury in first class. And Jack, he's down in third class, representing a different kind of freedom. And that contrast visually and thematically is just so powerful.
Yeah, you can actually see it on screen. It's not just dialogue. They show you that difference.
Absolutely. Like just the way the ship is laid out, the grandeur of the first class areas versus the, much more practical, functional spaces in third class. That's a visual representation of the economic and social inequality of the time. It's not just background. It's like, it's always there,
Yeah.
visually reminding you of the stratification that Rose and Jack are dealing with.
Yeah, you can't escape it.
You can't.
And then, on top of that, Cameron brings in these historical figures,
Yeah.
like real people.
Mhm.
Margaret Molly Brown,
Mhm.
Captain Edward Smith, Thomas Andrews.
These weren't just names. They became characters in this fictional story, but they were based on real people. And from what I understand, Cameron was very careful to portray them as accurately as possible.
Yeah, he did his research.
He did.
And that adds another level of authenticity, I think.
For sure. I mean, when you have real people and events woven into the story, it blurs the lines between what's history and what's made up. And that just makes the whole thing more powerful.
Yeah, it makes you think, wow, this really happened.
And it did.
So this is where things get really interesting for me.
Okay, tell me.
So in 1985, they find the wreckage.
Oh, yeah, the Titanic wreckage.
The actual ship at the
Yeah.
bottom of the ocean.
I mean, what a discovery. That must have been huge.
That's what I'm saying. And that completely reignited interest in the story worldwide.
It did. It really did.
And well, we know it really inspired Cameron. That's kind of what kicked off this whole thing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Seeing those images of the ship broken on the ocean floor, it made the tragedy real again for a lot of people. It wasn't just a story in history books anymore. It was like, bam, here it is, right in front of you.
It was tangible.
Exactly.
And Cameron, he's always been known for pushing the boundaries. So he sees this and he's like, okay, I have to make this movie.
He saw the potential.
And he went all in.
He did. And I mean, the detail in the film is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
The recreation of the ship, both when it was glorious and then how it was after it sank, it's amazing.
Like, you look at the grand staircase. I mean, that thing is iconic.
Right.
It's basically a character in the movie.
I know.
But then you look at the engine rooms, and it's all so
It's
detailed.
meticulous.
It's like he actually went back in time and filmed it.
Right.
It's incredible.
And that's part of what makes it so special, you know? It's that blend of history and artistry. He wasn't just making stuff up, he was using what was real and then elevating it with his own vision.
Yeah, he really found that sweet spot.
He did.
But okay, let's talk about the production itself.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about that.
I mean, building a replica of the ship, almost full scale. 90%, they say.
90%, yeah. That's huge. In Mexico, in this giant water tank.
Just thinking about the logistics of that makes my head spin.
It's mind-boggling.
And then, the sinking. To actually make that happen.
Oh my gosh.
Tilting this massive structure.
Oh, safely.
It's insane.
The engineering involved in that must have been incredible.
It's another level of filmmaking. It's more than just making a movie.
Absolutely. And it wasn't just the physical set. Cameron was also using CGI, which was still pretty new at the time. Morphing, digital compositing, all that.
Right.
He was blending miniature models with computer graphics and footage from the actual wreck.
Wow.
It was groundbreaking, really. It set a new standard for how realistic special effects could be.
Yeah, and it wasn't all just happening on a computer screen. They were really out there dealing with real-world problems, like freezing water.
Oh, yeah?
Kate Winslet actually got hypothermia,
Oh, yeah, I know. It's crazy.
and the extras, I mean, they were probably miserable.
Yeah, just imagine being in those conditions all day.
And even that romantic flying scene on the bow with Leo and Kate, I mean, they were harnessed for hours, days.
Yeah, it wasn't all glamorous, that's for sure.
No. But I think you could see that commitment on screen.
Absolutely.
They weren't just phoning it in.
And Cameron was right there with them, pushing for that authenticity. He wanted the audience to feel it,
Yeah.
the cold, the chaos, the desperation.
Yeah, he wanted to make it real.
He did.
So, all this ambition, it doesn't come cheap.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, the budget was supposed to be $110 million, but it ended up costing $200
The
million.
most expensive film ever made at that time.
Can you imagine the pressure?
Oh, it must have been immense.
On Cameron, on the studio. But, he had a vision,
He did.
and he stuck to it.
It's a good thing he did.
But it's a good thing, because those visuals, they made the movie.
They were a huge part of it.
So, okay, we've got the history, the production, but at the heart of it all is Jack and Rose.
The love story.
Jack Dawson, this free-spirited artist, wins a third-class ticket. He's like this breath of fresh air in Rose's world,
Oh, yeah.
She's living in this very structured, artificial environment.
Absolutely. He represents a totally different way of life. One that isn't weighed down by all the rules and expectations of society.
Right, he's free.
He is.
And that's what draws Rose to him, his artistic spirit, his honesty. It's a stark contrast to all the materialism she's surrounded by.
Right. He offers her a chance to experience a different kind of richness, a richness of experience, of real connection.
And then you have Rose.
Yeah.
At the beginning, she's this first-class passenger. Seems like she has it all.
Right.
But then you realize she's actually trapped in this arranged engagement to Cal, who's this wealthy, controlling guy.
Not a great guy.
No. And Rose's journey is what makes the story so powerful.
It is. It really is.
She goes from this, suffocated, stifled person to a survivor, someone who chooses her own fate.
She's a symbol of the limitations placed on women at that time, but she breaks free.
Yeah, she chooses love and freedom over everything else.
And that's powerful.
It is. And then you have Cal.
Cal Hockley.
Oh, boy.
What a villain.
Talk about entitlement.
He really embodies the worst of the upper class. Yeah, the possessiveness, the arrogance. He's the antagonist, the obstacle to Jack and Rose's happiness. Even before the ship starts to sink, he's a problem.
And he's not just a romantic rival. He's more than that. He represents those forces, the power of wealth and status, the things that are holding Rose back.
The things that Jack and Rose have to overcome.
Yeah. And we can't forget the other characters. Rose's mother, Ruth, so concerned with appearances and money.
Right. Marry for security, not love. That's her mantra.
And old Rose, telling the story, she adds this whole other layer.
Yeah, that perspective, looking back on her life, she can see the weight of those choices, the impact of what happened.
And I think those supporting characters, they really flesh out the world.
Oh, they do.
They show you the pressures Jack and Rose are facing.
They do.
But let's be real, a huge part of why this movie worked is Leo and Kate.
Oh, yeah.
Their chemistry was off the charts.
They just click.
It felt so real
So authentic.
that you couldn't help but root for them.
Absolutely. Their chemistry was electric. You believed in their connection, and that made the ending so much more devastating.
Yeah, it's what makes the whole movie work, really.
It does.
Okay, so we've talked about the setting, the characters, but Titanic is also about some pretty big themes,
It is.
like true love versus societal expectations. That's a big one.
Mhm.
Rose having to choose between Cal, representing everything society says she should want, and Jack, who represents real love and freedom.
Yeah, that's a classic conflict, right? The heart wants what it wants, but society has its own ideas.
And it's still relevant today.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That desire for genuine connection, it's timeless.
And then there's Hubris.
Hubris, yes.
The Titanic was supposed to be unsinkable, right?
Pinnacle of human achievement, they said.
And then it sinks. It's this reminder that we're not always in control. Nature can be a powerful force.
It's a cautionary tale. Don't get too cocky, right?
Yeah, you can't beat Mother Nature.
You can't.
And then there's the theme of survival and sacrifice.
Yes.
Jack giving up his life for Rose. I mean, that's
It's
just...
heartbreaking,
It is.
but it's also incredibly powerful. It shows the depth of his love. He's willing to put her life before his own to give her a future.
Yeah, it's the ultimate act of love.
It is.
And even the ocean itself has this symbolic quality.
Oh, interesting. How so?
Well, the wreckage, the bottom of the sea, is like a graveyard of dreams, you know?
Yeah,
And then Rose dropping the heart of the ocean into the water.
at the end.
Yeah, like she's letting go of the past.
It's like she's finally free.
Exactly.
The ocean is both the source of tragedy and this vast, indifferent space that just keeps going.
Right.
And Rose, by giving back the necklace, she's saying, I'm not defined by this anymore.
It's a powerful image.
It is.
Okay, we got to talk about the music. James Horner, My Heart Will Go On.
Oh my gosh, yes. That song.
You can't think about Titanic without hearing it.
It's iconic.
It's like it was made for the movie.
It just elevates every scene, every emotion.
And the visuals, I mean, the sheer scale of everything.
Yeah.
You have these lavish parties in first class and then these terrifying scenes in the lower decks as the water's rising.
Right.
And the way they transition between the present day and 1912.
So seamlessly.
It's brilliant filmmaking.
It is. The cinematography is masterful. The scale of it all highlights the social divide, the power of the disaster, and those transitions between past and present, they make you feel the weight of history.
Yeah.
And the sinking itself, that sequence is incredible. Just building the tension, showing the chaos. It's amazing.
Yeah, so what's the legacy of Titanic? I mean, it's a box office smash.
Yeah.
First film to make over $1 billion.
And it held that record for 12 years. Think about that.
It's crazy.
It wasn't just a successful movie, it was a phenomenon. It became part of the culture.
Yeah, I mean, the parodies, the memes, I'll never let go, Jack.
I know, right?
It's everywhere.
It's become this reference point for epic romance, for over-the-top emotions.
And it wasn't just the story and the visuals.
Yeah.
This movie actually pushed filmmaking forward.
Oh, yeah.
The special effects, the CGI, it changed the game.
Titanic was a huge leap forward in visual effects technology. It showed what was possible, and it influenced a whole generation of filmmakers.
And even now, people are still discovering it. They're re-releasing it in 4K. New audiences are finding it.
It's timeless.
It's more than just nostalgia.
The themes are universal. The storytelling is powerful. Even with all the advancements in technology since 1997, the things that make Titanic so great, they haven't aged.
So I think what we're seeing is that it's not just the spectacle, it's not just the love story, it's the way it blends those things with the real tragedy. The themes of love, loss, and that human resilience, that's what makes it stick with you.
I agree. It's the balance between the epic scale of the disaster and the intimacy of the relationships. That's what makes it so impactful.
So for you listening, here's something to think about. Beyond the romance, beyond the disaster, why do you think we're still so drawn to Titanic? What does it say about us, about our fascination with history, with stories of people overcoming barriers to connect with each other?
It's a good question.
It's something to ponder, I think.
It is.